What's good, y'all? I'm Psychosloth, the manic maniac, the lucid lunatic, the physical manifestation of duality. I'm from Pomona, California, and I'm a multi-dimensional philosophical artist. Let's get it.
Baphomet, Baphomet, bitch, I am the Baphomet. Balance and duality, you only know that.
Psychosloth, like, what's the meaning behind your name?
Well, my homies used to call me Sloth, like in high school days and after that, so I kind of like went with that and wanted something that kind of was me, more me than just Sloth. So a little background, I'm someone who likes to, I guess I would say, who cares a lot about certain issues that a lot of people don't care about, and I feel like the response back to me when I vocalize it is that I'm crazy, I'm weird, like what the fuck. And so I kind of draw the name Psychosloth from being like crazy enough to stand for these things, crazy enough to stand up and talk about things that a lot of people are either not knowledgeable about or don't want to be a part of it at all. Put it that way.
Oh, I see.
So, and also I just feel like psycho is like a good word to explain my style, especially when I perform, because I be going psycho.
What got you into the culture?
I grew up listening to like a hybrid basically of like hardcore, metalcore, post-hardcore, that type of scene, and rap and hip-hop. It was always those two for me, and like something about the way lyrics are said in rap appeals to me and makes me feel some type of way, so that's how I like to express myself and everything I've been through and my thoughts on certain topics and etc.
What artists like influenced you? Like, since you mentioned like you're into hardcore metal, and then
Artists that influence me. System of a Down, #1, hands down, all time. Mixtape Wheezy on the other side. Solange, Earl Sweatshirt, like a lot of different artists. I feel like I'm a blend of like a lot of different styles. If you like look closely to some of my songs, you'll see different elements of different styles, but also older like hardcore or post-hardcore bands like Dance Gavin Dance and that type of thing. Those, I like the vocals, and I was inspired by the vocals. So that's kind of what made me what I am today on terms of style.
Say you talk like the topics that people are not necessarily interested or consider crazy. Like, what are those particular topics, if you don't mind?
Like things like trans rights. In my songs, I talk a lot about, you know, trans rights are human rights. Stop killing trans women. Like, I throw little pieces of the things that I care about into all my songs, and like if you listen all the way through, you'll probably hear a few of those references. Other issues being like police brutality, systemic racism. A lot people think I'm like weird or crazy for addressing those issues, and like I don't understand it, because those are like some of the most important things that we're currently facing.
Right. Baby Claw. So what was that process like? How long did it take for you to complete that EP, or like what inspired you?
Baby Claw. So I was in a real dark place, and you know, I actually kind of still am currently, but I was in a further down dark place, like last year and in the beginning of this year, and I was going through a couple things, one of them being a bad heartbreak and other things that I won't get into in relation to that, and also the accident of the homie Rio. Shouts out Rio. I know you out there, risk world order for life all day, baby. So that really affected me. That really, I don't know, I was just, during those days, I was pretty dismal, pretty hopeless, and I put all that into Baby Claw EP because I had to let it out or it was gonna come out unhealthily.
Mm-hmm.
So Baby Claw EP was healthily to me because, you know, a lot of tough feelings build up, a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, a lot of uncertainty, and you always have to let that out in one way or another, or it will come out in a way that will probably harm you more so than if you chose to do it yourself.
Right.
So yeah, that was like a cry to the universe in a sense, a release of my pain. That was Baby Claw EP.
Mm.
And I linked up with JM Cam and Heartbreaker after I met them at this producer mixer, and they were responsible for the production of the entire project. Heartbreaker produced every single beat on Baby Claw, and they're all fucking fire. Shouts out Heartbreaker. And JM Cam mixed and mastered the entire thing. So linking up with them was a blessing because after that we created some beautiful art, and I think it was very powerful, and I think a lot of my soul was put into that, and a lot of people aren't with the sad boys depressing shit. I know that, but I didn't make it for a lot of people. I made it to heal myself. I made it to survive, honestly. So yeah, that's the story of Baby Claw EP.
How long have you been doing this?
Well, that's a tough question because like my first official song under Psychosloth I dropped this year actually. But like I feel like I've been in the scene around for like 3 or 4 years, around just stocking up music, you know, working on my own art and like certain things that I thought needed working on, like melodies and pocket placement and all that. All the mechanic stuff of rap, basically. That's what I was working on for the past 3 or 4 years. When I was going to release something, I wanted it to be fire and I wanted to be happy with it. So, you know, I took a while, and I feel like I guess what you consider a late bloomer in the game. I didn't start like super young or anything like that, but I'm here now, baby. Hey.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you also got to like work on a single with We Are Skywalkers.
Oh yeah, shout out to We Are Skywalkers, Non Plus Ultra, out everywhere. I'm on track number 4. It's called Save Yourself. It's pretty fire, bro. Like I was happy with it. We did a thing. We did a thing. Yeah, Save Yourself was dope. Got the last verse, but that whole album's dope, honestly. So if you're listening to any of the features, you're gonna be like, whoa, okay, I see you, Skywalkers. Okay.
This year was your first year at Psychosloth, but my question is like, when did you realize this was something that you wanted to do?
Oh, I think years ago. Like early high school,
Hmm.
I want to say. And I think I probably knew deep down, even sooner than that, but I suppressed it because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't have confidence back then. Like, it took me a while to even write, and after I started, I was like, okay, like, I love this. This is what I want to do, and it's confirmed now by the universe. And I remember just being in class, writing all day, like, barely paying attention to the teachers, but, you know, still getting decent grades. Staying school kids. But yeah, like, lyrics would always come to me. I wouldn't even be trying to write, and they would just pop up in my head, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm writing right now. Let's go.
Are you more like a night owl, or just like artistically, like this is where you're at your highest peak, like where you can be more effective like during the night?
I'm not a night owl, I'm a nocturnal sloth. Feel me? No, yeah. I feel like I move better in the night, move swift in the dark. That's most of my lyrics come to me late at night, and you know, it's less hot. Fuck.
Yeah, true.
Cali, bro. I don't like the heat that much. I like the cold better. So, you know. Also, darkness is what happens at night. You can't see the stars without that, can you?
Yeah, true. Have you faced any opposition from like your families or peers or friends?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good question. Couple funny stories. One of them was at the Baby Claw release show. My mom was actually there. And she heard the first half of Baby Claw EP, and she said she liked my singing and it was beautiful and all that, but she doesn't want to hear anything about any type of sexual thing in a song, like, because I'm her baby, and like, I'm like, oh God, well, I'm sorry, but you know, I'm in my 20s, hey.
Yeah, they gotta realize that.
So, yeah, that was funny because, like, you know, I know my family supports me, I know they love me and everything, but it was funny hearing that from my mom. Like, I was cracking up. I was dead. I feel like a lot of people attach stigma to some of my music.
Okay.
And I feel like they'll either say or imply some shit like the Psychosloth stuff, the aggressive, like, hard, dark stuff. It's kind of like too out there, too crazy, and the Baby Claw is too, like, too sad, too whiny. Like, I feel like people get that impression from it, and it doesn't bother me. I don't really give a fuck because I needed to let those two projects out to release a lot of things that have happened to me in the past. So it is what it is. I know there's hella people fucking with the projects though, so I gotta focus on them, you feel me? I can't give a fuck about what nobody's saying about my music if they ain't giving me money for it.
Right.
I mean, there were some songs that my family doesn't like because some of the topics I get into, like anti-religion and you know, a little bit of like Satanism even, and like they don't understand that, so they're taught to be scared of that, and they don't like that type of music. So I don't really think my family likes Psychosloth at all, but they do like the singing, the Baby Claw, the, you know, the melodic, wavy shit. So, I mean, hey, at least they support that. And at least they support me in general as an artist.
Right.
That's what's important, you know. You don't have to fuck with every song I make to support me or show love. So, yeah. Super grateful. Shout out to the Sloth family. You know who you are.
It all being said and done, I guess that's if you want to hang it up, but rhetorically, but if you're about to hang it up, what is it that you want people to remember your work?
Good question. There's a lot that I'm trying to do and I'm trying to say, and I could like go on for hours about this one. I'll try to like sum up some key points here. One of the main things is that your love and compassion should always extend beyond your identity. And what I mean about that is you should care about people going through things that you're not going through. You shouldn't turn a blind eye just because you're not experiencing racism or you're not experiencing sexual assault. Mm-hmm. You should actually support the people that are by at least talking about it, telling people like facts, statistics, like explaining to them that these things are important even if you're not going through them yourself. And so that's what I mean when I say that your love should extend beyond your identity. So another thing is mental illness is huge for me, and I want to reduce the stigma attached to mental illness, like anxiety, depression, psychosis. And it's important because it causes more harm when you give in to the stigma. When people say you're just begging for attention, you just want attention, you should stop faking it. You know, you're selfish. Like when people say that to depressed people, it does not help them. So why the fuck do you say that? It literally creates more doubt and guilt, and it just builds up, and that results in harm to the person going through the mental illness. We should try to be more understanding, try to talk about all the stigmas attached to mental illness, and specifically depression, because we could lighten the load on all the people going through it just by caring a little bit. You have no idea what that means to someone going through that, especially if you haven't at all yourself. So yeah, one of the themes of Baby Claw EP, which was a project about mental illness and the mental illness that I was going through at that time in my life, one of the themes of it was, you're not alone, but I hope you can't relate to this. And that's what I was talking about. Like saying, whoever's going through this, I feel you, you're not alone. But at the same time, if you're not going through this, I hope you can't relate to this. Because, yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah. What advice can you give an untapped artist? An untapped artist can be like the one of the epiphanies you had earlier, like talking to yourself. But like I would say, like this situation is the present you talking to like the younger self of you, or just any artist, just in general.
Okay. I would tell an untapped artist to have patience, part of the reason why, like, everyone called me Sloth is because I take a lot of time to make decisions, especially ones that'll impact my career, because I want to make sure I'm making the right decision or the best decision in the moment. So I think it's important to take time and really think about all your options in everything you do, whether it's making a song and whether you should change a lyric or not, or change the melody, where you should add a hook again or not. Like, all of those things, the more time you take on it, I think the better it's gonna come out and the more happy you're gonna be with it. And that's like the whole meaning behind the sloth part of me. Take shit slow. And I would also tell an Untapped artist to not give a fuck about anybody talking shit, anybody kind of like hating without constructive criticism, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta try to find your sound. You gotta find you within the art. You can't just produce songs like a factory that are like general and kind of like other people's styles. You gotta, once you find yourself in your artistry, you'll be happy with your songs and you'll trash less of them. That's what happened to me. Once I found out I was a psycho, every song I hit now. Hey.
Dope. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking your time out of your night to chop it up with us. And
Of course, man. Thank y'all for having me.
no problem.
Appreciate it.
Go ahead and list your plugs, like where people can find all your music and all your platforms.
Sloth is available everywhere. Look up Psychosloth on Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, Google Play, Soundcloud. All of those are Psychosloth. Twitter and Instagram are at Psychosloth_. So y'all can find me there. I always post new pictures, artwork, songs, all that stuff. So come find Psycho, the manic maniac. Hey. This for y'all that say Psycho can't do that real hip hop. Ooh. Hey you, my spirit gold, and I'm fearless cold. Mythical lifted wizard lifting blizzards and lizard homes. Busy living, bro. Excuse me if I missed the phone. Invested in the gifted, sifted, twisted little skin and bones. Calls himself the triple, flipping riddles in the mission's cove. Bred with a little mold. Attached to the different souls, misfit with many different woes, wearing women's clothes. Obviously don't get two fucks about your opinion, bro. Taste the blood and I'm grinning slow, never visceral. Hopefully I die before I'm sick and no. All I do is smoke and grow, pistachio Pinocchio. I'm slothing, I was comatose, but only for a minute though. I just need reciprocal, dip if you ain't with it though. I know it's not an easy task to keep up with my spirit though. So much love and passion, I know that you can hear it grow. It's the fearless clear it clear to make a fucking miracle. This is my vessel. I'm the only shaman that can steer it. Drop a half gram of shadow on the course, I'ma clear it. My skin crawling cause my cold ass bones is nearer. And I don't recall the last week. Triple isn't tearless. Cog is never gearless. Mine littered like the pier is no hook. When I saw this speed swimming had the spirit. Skin that shit alive then I fucking pan sear it. I'm just trying to get my money up to give it to the queer kids. Psycho.